Hey guys, thank you for tuning in to ArtosisCasts. I'm very excited about this game. We have BishOp, one of the absolute favorites of you guys, in the top right here. And he'll be playing the matchup that everyone loves to watch BishOp play. It's going to be his Taran versus Zerg. And he's going up against the future of Zerg, as I've called him. It's True. You know, if you haven't been watching ArtosisCasts lately, you've missed a lot of True games. I've been casting a lot of him. He's been crushing. He's been one of the highest ranked ladder players. The SCS, which is the Soup Challengers Star League, which took over the ACS, you know, the amateur tournament to get that seed into the ASL quals. Remember ACS that went with ASL? God, everything's been rebranded and it makes it more and more confusing. And I'm trying to kind of slowly transition us all into calling it its new names. But the new tournament, they basically made some new rules where it's like, okay, if you didn't make SSL yet, you can play in it. So we actually had more pros than normal in it. Anyways, the winner of the SCS now, instead of going to the finals of a qualifier, they actually get a direct seed. So True is actually the 5th player qualified for the upcoming SSL season. Our top 4 from last season already had their seeds, and now True has a seed. That's how good a shape he's in right now. He beat everybody else out. It was a very, very tough tournament. I believe he beat HM in the finals. I made a little video about that on the Artosis TV channel, YouTube channel. By the way, just a little side note, I've completely changed the type of content that's going to be going on that channel. It's not being posted to as frequently right now, but I'm actually working on a lot of stuff for it, so you might want to check it out again. That channel has gone through like a lot of iterations, and has had, like, for instance, a lot of things like from the stream, like stream highlight type funny stuff, and I'm not really doing that anymore with it. It's definitely a very different feel that I'm going for now, so you might want to go check that out again. If not, no problem. But anyways, I just wanted to throw that out there because I have spoken very recently about True quite a bit, and over on that channel as well. Okay, where are we at? This is a forward 8 barracks. It is cross spawn, so you can't expect much damage from this. He is, like, I'm 99% this is an 8 barracks, but I actually was talking so much I was not paying enough attention. This is kind of funny. He has 2 SCVs here, so if he micros well, he actually does beat. It has to be like that, though, like where he's up against the wall and he can block with the SCVs. And now with the 3rd Marine, he can route it. And again, another beautiful situation that shows how tight StarCraft is, where like one unit completely changes how everything goes. So, barracks, I mean, not barracks. BishOp here, having to pull back. That's about it. And in fact, not even any more lings being made by True. He's so on top of his game right now. I love seeing a player dialed in like this. Some pro Zergs here would have made 2 more lings. Like, just, you know, 1 more egg that hatches 2 lings. Some of them would have done that. And here he looks at it, he says, nope, it's over. Drones. Really superb. Very dialed in. You don't want to over-defend things. Over-defending is almost as deadly as under-defending. And in fact, I think the higher level you go, over-defending actually hurts more. Because that's what people abuse, is over-defending, because they don't make as many stupid attacks. Whereas over-defending at low levels is actually really great, and under-defending is really bad. Okay, it looks like this is turning into just an expansion and a 1 barracks academy. He is walking through. This was to look for an overlord. He was looking specifically for this overlord, but this overlord, you know, you never know exactly where your Zerg opponent will send his overlords or at what time. So he does miss that, but there's a world in which sometimes he catches that for sure. Like, if you were going over in this direction, then you adjust it up here because you want to get it here. It could have been there already. Okay. Spire is coming up. The SCV did get in to see that. True getting his 2nd gas mining up very quickly. Wants to get those mutas out. True has definitely shown us. Oh no. Are you stuck? Cancel this one, put that one on. think he... Oh, no, it's not stuck. Never mind. There is actually a formation of Academy next to Barracks that's tight. I mean, Academy next to eBay. Oh, man, I'm really speaking poorly today. Anyways, there is actually... I sometimes do it where I get an SCV stuck with a depot, an Academy, and a eBay all next to each other. Okay, so what I was saying before, you know, BishOp, he's very cutting-edge meta in this matchup. We've seen, like, a lot of Wraiths. I think he has maybe the best Taran vs. Zerg Wraiths in the world right now. Like, Speed is very good at it. Sharp has actually been pretty good at it in the few times he's shown us. Leda, of course, always fantastic at it. But I really think BishOp has been the best at it. Obviously, this game he opened with an 8 Barracks, which you don't really go into Wraith from that. But he's also shown us some very cool stuff with SK Taran, with, like, mass fire bats and stuff late game. So definitely he's got a good range. True, on the other hand, when he plays against pretty straight-up Taran players, he goes heavy on the mutas for a while. Like, he's very, very muta-centric. Really good with them. Really good with finding damage, with doing counterattacks, with slowing you down. We've seen some great games of him against some of the top Tarans in the world. So lots of turrets going down. He only has 2 barracks at the moment. Actually does not have +1 started yet. Has Stim started. Definitely going to want to get that +1 started. But right now, mostly making missile turrets. These turrets a little bit far out there. True is going to be able to abuse back here a little bit. Yeah, look at this. This is really good. And still, okay, still has Stim coming. Okay, there's the +1 finally. And True has actually done a superb job. Let's look at these positions. 23 drones to 27 SCVs. This is quite good for True right now. He's actually got his 2 hatches, he's got okay saturation, and he started a 3rd base in a very far away from rush position that's going to be easier for him to defend. Rush position is actually what I said. Never mind. I'm like, oh, don't get these players mixed up, Artosis. Come on. Anyways, you can see as he fell down in that SCV count, you can't really add more production. Like, he's just going to have to sit here on 2 barracks Marine Medic because he has to remake his SCVs. You really need mid-30s. Like, you can't really produce otherwise. And as you get your factory back up, you're supposed to start production of SCVs again. Like, this factory, I'm not even the biggest fan of this. Maybe he rushes to 1 starport and just tries to get some anti-mutalisk splash damage. That's the only thing that I can think for the speed of this factory, because I'm like, you really should be trying to focus on getting some of your SCVs back as quickly as possible. So True right now continuing to put out a little bit of damage here and there. BishOp stimming forward with his group of Marines. Still doesn't have that +1, but he does have range now. Queen's Nest coming up. He has that lurker upgrade on the way as well. So getting ready to defend these additional bases. Evolution Chamber is started for those +1 carapace upgrades. Oh, and it's actually 2 starport that quickly. Okay. Okay, it's going to be a little bit hard to afford that. I feel like here you won't go Armory. I think he might, though. Yeah. Pros still love their Valkyries, and he does start the Armory, but this is going to be very tight to afford all this. Because, well, he is regaining the SCV count. He's pretty consistent on that, 38 SCVs now. But, like, Valkyries are pretty expensive, and then he also wants to keep this going, and he also wants to keep this going, and you have to make the depots for that, and so on and so forth. So his economy is a little bit tight right now. Additional macro hatch is up. 6 Hydras on the way. So lurkers are going to be next. And this can be part of the problem. He's going to be spending a lot of money on getting Valkyries out. He'll only go 2, and he'll go into vessels, almost certainly. I'm trying to think if there's a world in which this turns into, like a mech switch. The way that this is playing out, I really don't like the position for BishOp at the moment. Okay, I was going to say, we're going to look and see if he starts +1 armor or he waits for +2 attack. +2 attack would point towards staying on SK. +1 armor says it could go either way, mech switch or staying on SK Taran. See if he goes an add-on. Okay, 4th barracks. Okay, it's going to stay on SK. You would definitely not add more barracks if you were gonna switch it up. Okay. So now we have to look at this game through new eyes. 2 Valkyries are out. He should start science vessels now. The Valkyries, like, I guess he can maybe shut down the mutas a little bit better now. Get some decent damage there. The Valkyrie's going to spot these lurkers as they're burrowing. He's pretty far out with those. I think that True was thinking about maybe trying to get up here and do a containment. These containments, if they haven't made the machine shop, basically kill Taran. Ooh. This was actually really good from BishOp. That was excellent. Oh, he runs out of the scan. Brutal. No scan. No scan. Just now he regained it. So he actually, that happens sometimes. And you'll go like, you know, your hotkey for scan, S, click, and it just, you don't have one. And you're like, oh, crap. I thought it was going to break everything. So that turned out, it was good at the start there for BishOp, but didn't end up that way. Okay, we actually see True. Oh, I'm getting chills again. Ah! What is it called? Friction? I get friction a lot from StarCraft. I'm sorry about that, guys. But, like, we saw True do this recently on Dominator, where he went into, like, more Zerglings, and it was more of, like, a Zergling Hydra Defiler roam that we don't see from anyone else. And I thought that was really, really fascinating. I think the name of that video was something like Hydra's Counter Marines or something like that. But this is very cool to see. True keeping this kind of style. Seeing this again from him is really, really neat. And you can see he is getting Hydralisk upgrades, so it's going to be like a Hydra Lurker Defiler is what we normally call it, but he adds in more lings than anyone else that I ever see do this strat. So, anyways, runs up here, throws down... Ooh, a 1 health Lurker, LOL. Throws down the Dark Swarm, so we'll be fine. Now, I want to see if BishOp starts throwing out Fire Bats, because I've definitely seen BishOp games where he adds like 10 Fire Bats and just starts breaking some of these positions. I think it's very cool. Oh, double dropship coming out. But the mutas are waiting in the main. We don't see any Scourge up here. We don't see Lings rallied up here either, which is a very common thing to see at the moment. Oh, he's going to see the dropships, though, which is big. And he actually gets one of the vessels as well. BishOp being pushed back. Oh, man, more Lings coming up. And they're going to be able to force a cancel there as well. That is so annoying. Crackling upgrade is amazing. Plague is almost done, by the way. Consume obviously still there. Okay, D-Matrix is one of the dropships. You got to lead with that one if you're going to do that. And this one's actually slightly leading. Okay, see, he pulls a pine. There you go. That is the way. Well, he drops right under the mutas. So they kill a few of the Marines, but obviously without great upgrades, going to be a little bit harder. Little counterattack down to 6, and that's nice. He's going to be able to kill that off. He actually gets the Spire. That's a big kill. Gets a Defiler before the Dark Swarm. Plague goes down. So this will get cleaned. Oh, but he's actually not under the Dark Swarm there. That's really annoying. The drop was, like, okay still, I feel like. Getting a Spire, getting a few drones, some lost mining time. The Defiler he got several mutas. He got a couple Hydras, some Lings. Yeah, I think that was still a reasonable drop. For sure. By the way, gets rid of this base. He's setting up a secondary drop into here from an angle that I think True is not expecting. True taking this base is completely fascinating. No one really plays like this. No top players really look at this and say, well, they want this base next. But when you're going for this composition that we see, Hydra Ling is very mineral heavy. So this base will actually be really useful, whereas in most Zerg strategies against Taran, it really won't be. It won't be something Taran worries about. But with the amount of Lings and Hydras that True has been making, it actually makes a lot of sense. Now, another drop from BishOp here into the main base. Going after the Defiler Man. Ooh, he's going to get it before Defiler energy is done. That's really nice. Going after the Hydralisk Den as well. Dude, good pickoffs. Going after a Defiler. True is getting just peeled apart right now by BishOp. By the way, okay, so I'm casting this right now. And the Brood War ladder just reset, but this will come out like a couple days after that. But as of the Brood War ladder reset, in which True was definitely one of the top players, but Speed was number one, BishOp is number one on the ladder, like as of this second that I'm casting this. But yeah, sometimes I cast games just a couple days in advance of the YouTube, so I don't know if that's going to be the case exactly when this is released, but I'm trying to put into perspective that BishOp is in very good shape right now, and you can see that reflected in this game, absolutely. People have not been having a good time with SK Taran against Zerg, but he's playing a very nice game here. Like, he's staying quite aggressive, he's keeping the base count low, he's finding great ways in with dropship. Look at this. Nothing here for the dropship once again. He's got like one lurker. Now, the Hydra Ling does push BishOp back a little bit. He's got 2-1, second factory coming up, so he's going to have 2 factory siege tanks going, but another big drop here in the main base. Getting some drones. A lot of Lings coming down. All right, BishOp just being a nuisance as much as he can in here. He knows that he's not going to do really that much more damage, but, you know, he does what he can. He forces True to deal with this. This gives him time to get everything else done at home. He's got a good amount of siege tanks. He's got 4 bases. Only Marines in these bunkers, so definitely a Darkstorm could show up and ruin it. Oh, wow. This is kind of funny. He's got no Defiler here. That is a bit weak. He's just playing like Hydra Lurker, kind of like Man Zerg plus Zerglings. And he's actually shockingly killing a lot of those units. That was a huge amount of Marines. And even with the siege tank support here on the side, still kills a lot. Okay, Darkstorm goes down this time. Actually having a really hard time getting around the Marines. Marines body blocking the Lurkers. One does get burrowed, though, so he's going to have to back up from this position. Hydra's picking off siege tanks as they can. The Marines, of course, can't deal any damage under there. Looks like we have another drop going. I'm not going to miss drops anymore, guys. I promise. No, I'll miss tons of drops. But this push coming in, this is scary. He's getting into the rally points. You're going to have to reset all those. This drop definitely could do some counter damage for sure. He's actually getting quite a few drones here, which is super, super nice. But the push from True actually has a lot of potential. He's going to force probably a liftoff on the factory. He's killing like every single siege tank right now. He's pushing him back into his natural. And the thing is, sometimes these types of pushes, like a Hydra Lurker Defiler push, sometimes will run out of food for the Defiler. Well, actually, he killed the Defiler with the Irradiate. But when it runs out of food for the Defiler, like it's like, do I eat a Lurker to try to put down another Darkstorm or 2 Lurkers to do that? No. Whereas he's got so many Lings in here, like he'll never run out if he still has it, but he did end up losing those. Lot of vessels in here. True continuing to rally up. Another Defiler coming forward. Yeah, the Darkstorm and the Natural is one of the best kill moves that you have against Taran. There are still a fair amount of Irradiates that he can cast out of here, I think, right? 1, 2. Oh, no, he only just got like 2 Irradiates. He's got 2 more that are coming in like 10 seconds. So he will be able to reduce this Lurker count a little bit. Definitely needs to eat something in here. Yeah, going to eat that Irradiate Lurker. That makes sense. Darkstorm is going to go down. This is going to be a bit of a problem. And the problem is mostly because there's going to be Lurkers in here. Moves the egg forward, or moves the Hydra forward and morphs the egg to irradiate the SCVs repairing the depot. That's very cute. And BishOp ends up GGing. Even though he killed the economy here a lot, and he denied a 4th gas, this style of True, where he's adding in more Lings than anyone else into Hydra Lurker Defiler, is completely fascinating. I am so excited about the future of Brood War. The fact that we have these guys rising up right now and becoming some of the best players in the world, and they're playing completely differently. Completely differently. Look at the way True is playing. No one is playing like True. He's like a cross between like Soma and Soulkey or something. It's wild. And then like Speed. What is Speed? Speed's like a cross between Sharp and Rush, right? Like we have these just these new players that are getting so strong that are so fun to watch with these different takes on the matchups. And this, like the fact that BishOp was doing that much damage in the mid game, like I felt like he was doing so well with those drops. And he, even towards the end, look at this, he's not even mining from his main, and this is depleted. And still, he takes a mineral base, he says, screw it, it's fine. I have plenty of Hydras and Lings. I love it. I love it. Great game. I hope you guys enjoyed. This was an awesome one. Thank you for watching.